Picture a world where innovation meets commerce. This is the realm of trade fairs, a world of endless possibilities. Trade fairs are not only business gatherings, they are ecosystems where partnerships are forged and the future of various sectors is shaped. This year, the Canton Fair tops all the trade fairs by being the largest in the world. The biannual event has grown into a symbol of China's economic dauntlessness. The Canton Fair is a marketplace where buyers and sellers across the world meet to determine the trajectory of foreign trade. At least, that was the case until mid-October 2023. The 135th Canton Fair brought a chilling quietude upon the trade fair's grounds, significantly contrasting the event's once vibrant energy. The fair's exhibition halls, which are known to be lively and buzzing, became empty. What used to be the most sought-after trade fair by Chinese exporters turned into a harbinger of worries and concerns. The unexpected plunge in international orders at the Canton Fair hints at a brewing storm that might disrupt the very fabric of foreign trade. This crisis is a global wake-up call for all nations to remember how interconnected our economies are. Everyone, consumers, organizations, and governments, is not safe from the possible ripple effects of the Canton Fair crisis. Today, we will decode the cause of the sudden decline in foreign orders at the Canton Fair and discuss its far-reaching consequences. Welcome to a story of resilience, adaptation, and the delicate balance between global economic powerhouses. Chapter 1. The historical economic barometer, known as the Canton Fair. Twice a year, inhabitants of the bustling city of Guangzhou, China, experience the grand extravaganza that is the Canton Fair. This beacon of commerce from all over the world is proof of China's economic greatness and unshakable dedication to international change. In fact, the Canton Fair, also known as the China Import and Export Fair, is often used to gauge China's economic prowess accurately. The Canton Fair can be traced as far back as the late 50s. In 1957, it began its journey and evolved into an emblem of the Red Dragon's endurance and adaptability. What's not to love about the Canton Fair? Just take a look at its exhibition halls filled to the brim with thousands of entrepreneurs and businesses who want a piece of the spectacle. If there were ever a chance for China to brag about its technological advancements and innovations, it would be at the Canton Fair. Friends and rivals of the nation can take a sneak peek at China's capabilities to produce ever-evolving electronics, machines, textiles, basically everything and anything. What an impeccable way to establish the world's factory, called China, as a giant in the global economy. This historical event has proven to be significant over the years, as it has emerged as an economic barometer that reflects the changes in China's international economic activities. Experts and companies often rely on its consistency and make use of the Canton Fair to gauge China's market demands, export trends, and worldwide competitiveness in real time. If you are looking for an occasion that offers the juiciest and latest global economic drama, then you should check out the Canton Fair. The exhibits, deals, and transactions made at the Canton Fair are evidence of every stage in China's economic evolution, from the time of swift industrialization to its fusion into the global supply network. The Canton Fair is more than a platform for global commerce. It has evolved from the export-oriented showcase it once was to a sophisticated affair, embracing both import and export. Recently, there have been certain developments affecting the Canton Fair. The decline in foreign orders has caused seismic effects in a terrain the Canton Fair once defined and ruled over. The question is, how much of an impact will these shockwaves have? Chapter 2. Concerns with the surprising tide of orders. Just when the world was starting to forget about how interconnected the global economy is, the most recent Canton Fair turned out to be a huge reminder of this phenomenon. The 135th Canton Fair took place in the middle of October, which was some weeks ago. However, October left a sour taste in the mouths of some Chinese exporters as they noticed a dip in their foreign orders, especially from their American and European customers. This shocking development has made the international trade network anxious and has cast a shadow over the renowned Canton Fair. In 2019, these foreign orders amounted to $205.7 billion. After the COVID-19 pandemic, that number reduced to $179.4 billion in 2022. The 2023 edition of the Canton Fair recorded $157 billion in foreign orders. This decline was more significant among European and American patrons, with orders falling by 15% and 30% respectively. Over the years, the consistent flow of orders from the Canton Fair has been responsible for sustaining the businesses of various exporters. Exporters who had carefully planned for the fair were taken aback by the reduced interest from their major markets. Decades of buzzing trade interactions suddenly took a downturn, making participants wonder about the reason for this unexpected change. Quite a number of them have commented about the ebbing tide of foreign orders. A veteran exporter shared, "The order volume has dropped significantly, especially from European and American buyers. We're seeing a 30–40% decrease compared to previous years." Another exporter expressed her worry by saying, "We used to have a long line of buyers eager to discuss our products. Now, our booth is eerily quiet. It's a drastic change that has us deeply worried." What is more worrying about the waning order volume is that it was not isolated to a particular sector. It penetrated various sectors, including consumer electronics, machinery, textiles, and hardware. This occurrence has made the exporters in the affected industries voice out their apprehensions. Thus, their future is left uncertain. This drastic downturn in foreign orders was brought about by various complex and multifaceted global economic factors. The increasing inflation and disruption in the global supply chain had reduced consumer confidence and purchasing power in major markets. The war in Ukraine and growing trade conflicts made matters worse and bred risk aversion among companies and consumers. As the Canton Fair came to an end, people wondered if the decline was only temporary or it would herald heavier economic hits. Time will tell, but the slight fall of the Canton Fair reminded everyone of just how vulnerable the global economies are. Chapter 3. Unraveling the reasons behind dwindling orders. Decoding what exactly could have led to the recent drop in international orders at the Canton Fair has proven to be formidable. Turns out the entire issue is quite complex, and there are several possible factors. One of the most prominent culprits of the decline is the current global economic slowdown. The International Monetary Fund has changed its global growth prediction for this year to 3.6%. This decision came after taking into consideration the war in Ukraine, growing inflation, and stricter monetary policies. The trade war, especially the one between the United States and China, is another probable cause. For years, both nations have been going at it. Their tit-for-tat tariff impositions and trade conflicts have led organizations to reassess their sourcing means. The World Trade Organization noted that Chinese exports to the United States and the European Union have dropped by 12% and 15% respectively in the last quarter. Likewise, geopolitical tensions have disrupted supply networks and escalated uncertainty in the world's economy. As a result of these, businesses and organizations have become more cautious with their purchases. Disruptions in global supply chains have led to shortages in containers, congestion at ports, and delays in transportation. The Baltic Dry Index reported that freight rates have grown by more than 50% since 2022. With the resulting increase in shipping fees and lead times, it has become more expensive and difficult to purchase goods from China. Additionally, consumer tastes and preferences are changing, leading to changes in demand patterns. Recently, e-commerce and direct-to-consumer (DTC) companies have become increasingly famous. This evolution is obstructing traditional retail channels and pressuring traditional export-oriented businesses. These numerous factors have contributed to the recent Canton Fair crisis. Businesses, governments, and global organizations must work together to provide solutions to these challenges. Hence, they would be able to restore balance and growth to the world's economy and foreign trade. Chapter 4. What lies ahead for the global economic pool? China is the second largest economy in the world. Its humongous manufacturing capabilities and extensive consumer market have made it indispensable to the global economic pond. However, this has all changed with the emergence of the Canton Fair crisis. The Red Dragon's economy doesn't look so good anymore, as the drop in international orders suggests a reduction in demand for Chinese products. According to the China Council for the Promotion of International Trade, CCPIT, the gross revenue at this year's Canton Fair dropped by 19.9% from last year's fair. The Chinese might begin to experience factory shutdowns, job losses, and a downturn in the nation's economic growth. Consequently, there will be ripple effects on industries such as transportation, retail, and logistics. As we come to the end of this investigation of the Canton Fair crisis and its extensive effects, the world finds itself at a crossroads, with its economic landscape on the edge of uncertainty. We cannot afford to be idle and nonchalant, and governments must work towards fostering international cooperation. We must embrace innovation to weather this storm and chart a course toward a more sustainable and prosperous global economy. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this video helpful, like it and share it with your friends. You can also subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.